Welcome to my studio. Hello friends, welcome to my studio, where we celebrate the makers of homegrown music. And there's more of us than you think. And this week we're proud to have a Navy veteran with a passion for making music. And now from the rolling hills of southern Missouri, please welcome Daryl Nelson. Hey, Daryl Nelson. I'm very glad to meet you, man. Right off the bat, I got to say one thing. Waterfalls, that's a beautiful song, dude.
Well, there's a story behind that too, but yes, that was definitely one of the songs I am very proud of.
Well, how'd you get started in music? When'd you start playing?
I knew at a young age exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to create something that nobody had ever created before. And my brother, he's older than I am. When I was 14, he was playing in bands in high school, and they would come over to the house and practice at the house, and it was one of them things to where I just knew in my heart, hey, I could do that, you know, and that was my opening to be able to create something. I said, I can do it through music, so I wanted to be a songwriter. Well, I had a mini bike, and I was over at a friend of mine's house one day, and he was getting in his closet for something, who knows what. But I seen this old beat up acoustic guitar leaned in there in his closet. And my eyes just got wide open, and I said, hey, I'll trade you my mini bike even up for that guitar you got there. And sure, he jumped on that one. So that's what I needed right there. I finally got my first guitar, and I shoveled some snow to earn some money to go buy me a Mel Bay chord book, and I started going to town. My dad, he noticed that I was interested in music, and he bought me a set of drums. And he found a really good deal. It was a set of Ludwig drums, and he bought them for $50. And why he bought me the drums, I don't know. Maybe it was just to irritate the neighbors, I don't know. But everybody wanted to be a guitar player and singer, and there was a big demand for drummers. So they had up at Halltown, Missouri, there was an old schoolhouse up there, and they called it truckers' breaks. And they would allow the truckers to stop in and take a rest. They would get free coffee and free donuts, and they could listen to us play a Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. So I took my set of drums up there, and I got to playing with them old codgers, and they taught me a lot. I mean, learning from these guys, they had been playing in country bands around here in the Ozarks pretty much all their life. So I did that for close to maybe a year, and there was a bar at Neosho. My brother, he was a bass player, played in bands, and they had the house band there. So they lost their drummer, and he told the band that his brother played drums and wanted to bring me over. So I come over, welcome to find out, the guitar player in the band, he brought a drummer also. So they ended up having two drummers to audition that night. So they asked, well, does one of you guys play guitar? And I said, well, I'm just learning. I don't know any of the songs. But he handed me an acoustic guitar and said, don't worry, they're not going to hear you anyway. So the other guy played drums for the night, and he said, we'll have you play drums next week, and then we'll decide who we want to join the band. So my first professional gig, I was standing on stage, not knowing a song they played except for one, which was House of the Rising Sun. And I got paid $20 just for standing up there and like I'm playing the guitar.
That's a good night, man. That's a good night.
And it was memorable. Well, I ended up joining the Navy. Well, I come home one evening, and I was going to the barracks, and I was walking down the hall, and I noticed this guy had his door open, and he was sitting there playing a violin by candlelight. And he would play for a little while and then stop and jot something down and play for a little bit. Well, I stood there, and I was just in awe. It was just amazing, you know, and I was watching him do this. And finally he stopped, And he turned around and looked at me and kind of sarcastically said, can I help you? And I said, well, I'm really sorry, but I'm just amazed. I've always wanted to be able to compose music and read and write music and do this, what you're doing. I said, I just play by ear and I don't even know music theory, and I'd love to be able to do that. So he gave me a book and he said, here, this will help you out a little bit. And it was a book for the Navy marching band. Well, come to find out, this was a complete college course in music theory, teaching people how to play music. And I had to read it a couple of times, and finally the light bulb lit up, and whenever it all hit, and that just opened up the gates. I finally knew scales, I finally knew the modal scales, the circle of fifths, the chord construction, and that's when everything started opening up for me. Instead of having to search by ear for the sound I was looking for, I knew the scales and I knew where I needed to go.
Do you remember your first song that you wrote?
It was called People Change Faces, and I was out on my front porch playing it one time, and my brother came and said, hey, I've never heard that song before, who does that? And I said, well, I wrote it, and it had it on paper there on the stand, and I was playing it. And he got all excited and grabbed my sheet of paper and went running to all the neighbors saying, hey, my brother wrote a song. I never got my song back. The songs that I had, they weren't near caliber enough to ever propose as marketability, but I would use the new chords that I would learn and write songs with the new chords and use them for practicing techniques and exercises. And that's how I accumulated a lot of my songs.
What does it mean to you in your life to have that ability to make music at home?
I thank God all the time for giving me the talent to be able to sit here and create something that nobody has ever created before. And I mean, the feeling you get, words can't describe how good that feels. And you probably know what I'm talking about. When you sit back and you listen to that song, from beginning to end with its complete, I'm just in awe. This is just so fun and amazing. Yeah, I can't describe in words how it feels. It's amazing.
The first song we're going to play is
Waterfalls.
Perfect. Well, let's give it a listen then.
Spring is in the morning air, birds are singing in the trees. Another day we know is coming, a day that we won't want to leave. Through the woods and by the creek, in the thick of Forest Peak, on our way climbing up the mountain to see as far as the eye can see. That's when she will say to me, with beauty in her honesty, kiss me on the forehead and then kiss me on the cheek and lips. Tell me that you're never gonna walk away from all of this. Freeze the moment with me in a time we hold our arms around. Waterfalls are always falling down. Spring is in the morning air, suiting up to hit the beach. Sand between the toes can tickle dreams that everyone can reach. In the sunlight on the blanket, there's a nearby silhouette. Water running through the rocks can form a channel to the jet. That's when she will say to me, with beauty in her honesty, kiss me on the forehead and then kiss me on the cheek and lips. Tell me that you're never gonna walk away from all of this. Freeze the moment with me in a time we hold our arms around. Waterfalls are always falling down. if you're never gonna walk away from all of this, freeze the moment with me in a time we hold our arms around. 'Cause waterfalls are always falling down.
Beautiful, beautiful song, man. Great job. Do you do your own harmony?
I'm not a high quality lead vocalist, but I really enjoy singing harmony, and that's where Waterfalls comes in, because that's where you can see and hear the harmony vocals that I do in there. And yeah, I'm really proud of that song.
So tell me a little bit about Pick Up the Phone.
And there's a funny story behind that, because I played in a band and we had a drummer in this band and he was very unreliable. And I'm sure you've been through a stage like this where somebody was unreliable in the band. And we was setting up for band practice, and of course he was late again and didn't show up. So I just call him and call him and call him. And that's where I got the idea, come on, man, pick up the phone, you know, and I thought that would make a good song. And that's what really started my program, the home studio program. That was my first song that I ever completed that I was really actually proud of. The rest of them, like I said, was like reference songs or just didn't turn out as well as I would like, you know. And most songs that you hear, you'll hear in your head, and usually it doesn't come out the same as what it did when you heard it in your head to begin with. But this one, it turned out real good, and I was real proud of it. So yeah, that was pretty much my cornerstone right there.
Got your number, I know the area code. You cast the spell I'm under, so pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. My heart's a heart is fire. You said you'd be alone. Don't prove to be the liar, so pick up the phone. Nights are for desire, not for throwing bones. For words I'm not a buyer, so pick up the phone. Some people wanna have a lover on the line. Don't be thinking to yourself, it's my turn this time. So pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Got my heart a ringing. It answers to one tone, the song that you've been singing. So pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
it's fun, and I plan on doing this till the day I die.
Well, Daryl, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, man, and giving us your time today.
Well, Ray, I'd like to say too that I really like to thank you for letting me be a part of this, my studio, and I'd really like to thank everybody involved in all of this, and I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's absolutely our pleasure. And you can find Daryl on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Daryl Nelson Rocks. That's a wrap on episode 5. Tune in next week for more makers of homegrown music. See you then. But until then, welcome to my studio.